front of this house. I was sitting down walking the dog in front of this house, and then Kayla was coming from this way. Yep. I was right there, and then Kayla came around the corner, just kept walking. I was like, yo, let me talk to you. Kept walking, so I had to jog up to catch you.
That's what you said. You couldn't hear me. You couldn't hear Sarah.
Kayla didn't want to talk to me. She just kept walking, speed walking. And then down this block right here, I grew up on this block. My brothers grew up in this house. My cousins grew up in this house. Had friends who lived in all three of these houses. And then my house was this house right here, this green and white one. But it didn't even have a fence over it or anything. That was our house. People in that store know me really good. They knew me since I was a little boy. Cut my hair. One of my friends got killed down this street, all the way at the end during a community kickball event. I got shot at by that pond right there. I didn't want to talk about that. This is her old school right here. So I got shot at on the next block over too.
That house actually got shut up while we were all in it. Kids around art, and sometimes younger, sadly. Like, you don't see too many older people in this area, doing it anymore. It's just young people now. And it could be over stupid stuff, literally.
Stupid stuff, crazy. And then, like, when you're raised over north, you know people that's into that stuff. Yeah. So they come over telling you stuff.
And whenever Lloyd leaves the house, if I hear gunshots or if I hear police sirens or just commotion, anything, I'll just think that it's Lloyd. I think that something happened to Lloyd.
In October of 2019, the Minneapolis Federal Reserve Bank issued a dire warning about the educational achievement gaps plaguing Minnesota. This warning was summarized in an op-ed written by Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari and Football Hall of Fame legend Minnesota Supreme Court Justice Alan Page, in which they said, on average, Minnesota schools perform well compared with other states. Unfortunately, these averages mask some of the worst educational disparities in the nation. If you are a low-income white Minnesotan or Minnesotan of color, whether your children attend a traditional or a charter school, chances are high that they are not getting the education they deserve. A separate study conducted at the University of Minnesota tracked 300,000 Minnesota high school students from 2004 to 2018. The objective of the study was to identify pathways leading to family-sustaining careers. The unfortunate reality is that only 30% of youth who were on a free and reduced-price lunch program at any time during their high school years were able to eventually earn a living wage. When broken down by race, the numbers are even more alarming, with only 19% of black students living in poverty able to earn a minimum living wage 10 years after graduating from high school, perpetuating generational poverty. In 2016, the state set a goal of having 70% of Minnesota adults ages 25 to 44 attain a post-secondary certificate or degree by 2025. Meeting the variety of needs presented by our emerging workforce is critical to closing the achievement gap and implementing pathways to careers that can ultimately sustain a family. We are only 7% away from reaching the state's educational attainment goal. However, 86% of the additional credentials needed must come from non-white communities. Achieving this goal will help lift communities out of poverty and give Minnesota the skilled workforce needed to create a thriving future for all. This is why the Sundance Family Foundation laid out a pathway to obtaining middle-skill careers, designed to launch and then guide youth as they grow beyond meeting minimum standards of a living wage. The Earn and Learn pathway provides the foundational stepping stones for young people to develop portable skills that will help them on their journey to finding a fulfilling career. The key is to meet youth where they are, identify and remove potential barriers, provide the support and services needed to overcome those barriers, and continuously mentor youth to success. The good news is that we can help youth to discover a pathway to middle skills careers, as an increasing number of high-quality jobs no longer require a 4-year college degree. So the question is, how are industries, nonprofits, high schools, foundations, and government agencies going to innovatively braid resources and pathways together to make the changes needed to prepare our next generation to fill these exciting 21st century careers? Some organizations are beginning to work together to develop earn and learn programs that move young people from career exploration to job placement, apprenticeships, and job retention supports.
My name is Mikaela Terry. I'm 19 years old. I grew up in Minnesota. I actually bounced around a lot, so I didn't really stay in one place for a very long time. Education has always been a really big part of my life. Ever since I was little, I always knew that education was going to get me where I wanted to be because of everything that I had been through.
Mikaela finished her high school education at PYC, where she met Cynthia Gomez.
So Mikaela showed up in my English class, clearly a brilliant girl, a really outstanding student. Now, you got to understand that this young woman has been on her own since she was 14 years old.
I have 4 sisters, and then I have, I believe, 7 brothers. Like, totally, like on my dad's side and my mom's side. Nope, just 5, sorry.
How often do you see?
5. I don't see them much. They live in Atlanta. Like, 4 of my brothers live in Atlanta, and then one of them is actually in Minnesota, but 2 are incarcerated. Circumstances that led me to where I was at was just same thing, family situation. My mom was in and out of drug addiction for 25 years of her life, and I am proud to say that she's been sober for the past 4 years. She was living in a treatment facility, and I refused to be in a treatment facility. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really want to stay there, so I was staying with my brother, and then I ran across Lloyd one day.
Mm-hmm. We understood each other's situation, and we was like, all right, okay, we're gonna take care of each other then.
Yeah, he moved back with his dad for me, like basically. He made amends with his dad so that I could have somewhere to stay. But we've been living together ever since we met, basically.
So basically like 4 years, you know, so we just basically been helping each other. And I feel like I would never have a friend like Kayla. Not only she's my girlfriend, she's also my best friend. She's literally my best friend. I can't talk to anybody how I can talk to her. So
Her boyfriend, Lloyd, he was in active kidney failure on a donor list. Mikaela's employment, which she did get high school credit for, by the way, was as his personal care assistant.
she helped me get it down packed when she moved in and stuff. Cause
Slowly opened up to me more and more about how to help him. At first, he's basically been the only one doing it himself. They taught him how to do it himself, and so he only trusted himself.
I would tell her, don't come to the hospital. Like whenever I would go in the hospital and stuff, I would tell her, I don't want you to see me in the hospital because I'm sick, blah, blah, blah. And then she would just be showing up. So that's how I knew, like, Kayla's cool, man. She would forever be my friend. And I never thought I was going to get off dialysis. But as soon as we moved in, not even a week after moving in here, I got a kidney transplant. So.
We got a phone call.
Yeah, so.
And it was like this big thing. Like, I've been knowing ever since I met him that one day there's going to be this phone call that will tell you got to get to the hospital as soon as possible. It's going to be rushed. And then I'm just like, when we got the phone call, I flipped. Because I'm like, seriously?
And Kayla,
like now?
Mikaela graduated, Lloyd graduated last year, and they're both in pharmacy tech training programs because obviously through all of their hospital stuff, they've gotten really interested in the healthcare field.
I loved that, what I was doing. I felt, that I could see myself doing that for more people, just in general and not just for him. Cynthia is a big, You know, she's a big part of my life right now. She's always believed in students like me, people like me, you know, that have gone to school and always stuck up for us and made sure that we follow our dreams and don't get discouraged because we can do whatever we want to do. And so her just being there and making sure that I don't give up kept me going. I went to school one day and she just came up to me with the flyer. She usually comes up to me with these flyers, and so I was just like, it's just another flyer. But then I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, this is actually really convenient for me. I didn't want to spend 4 years in college, like right after high school. I felt like it would overwhelm me a lot. So the fact that this program will be like months and then lead into a job that could also start my career, I just wanted something to jump right into right away.
Cynthia was placed in Mikaela's school thanks to a program called LEAP, which was initiated by Project for Pride in Living, otherwise known as PPL.
So we're in our 4th year of LEAP, which stands for Learn, Earn, Achieve Potential. It is an Annie E. Casey-funded initiative that helps youth that are in county involved, so foster care, juvenile justice, or young people experiencing homelessness, to really have the opportunity to think about their careers, their assets, what they want from their life, and launch powerfully into their next steps into a family-sustaining career. We spend a lot of time in LEAP thinking about career pathways, thinking about career laddering, how you navigate within the system that you're in currently to get that next promotion, get that next education needed for you to continue to grow in your career. We don't want young people to enter into the career and that's it for the rest of their lives. We want them to have the tools, experiences, and education to move themselves forward so they can be powerful leaders in our community.
I've been teaching for 30 years, and I'm having the most fun now because I am connecting students, helping students connect to opportunities that are transforming their lives now. I don't have to wait 10 years for somebody to come back and go, you've changed my life. I can see that I have a hand in helping a student change their life. And so it's been such an incredible experience. And I'm just looking forward to the time when we can be friends, when Mikaela and I can just be friends. I look at this, my experience, my relationship with her as one that is going to last.
So, what is Earn and Learn?
Any opportunity that you get to gain some experience,
which is sponsored by an organization, respective organization.
So that then there's a coaching relationship at the workplace to support that learning. It isn't just a job, it becomes about career development.
Where youth are paid a living wage.
Whether it's from an educational institution, some sort of other organization that just does one-off trainings.
Because at the end, your experience and your academic all compile in the same component to make who you are.
And then be able to see yourself in a career, to be able to see yourself being able to not only grow in your financial capacity, but also grow in your skill set.
In May of 2019, the Sundance Family Foundation launched their Earn and Learn initiative by honoring Twin Cities employers offering Earn and Learn programs and celebrating the young adults entering into those programs.
We've got a dynamic right now where we have employers that want to hire. We have employees that want to work, but oftentimes they're not making the connection.
So I attended the Earn and Learn event and was blown away by the progress being made. In particular, there was a young woman who had previously been homeless, but then she got connected up with the Earn and Learn program. And her life turned around, not from the perspective that she didn't have this amazing talent to begin with, but from the perspective that we're now accessing this talent. This talent is now an injection into our economy.
Basically, I went from my lowest point in life to having my own apartment, a car, a job. I just want people to know that if you're going through a hard time and you feel like it's never going to end, as cliche as it might sound, don't give up. Because I almost did, and I wouldn't be here if I did.
In Minneapolis, Mayor Jacob Fry has made affordable housing Police and community relations and economic inclusion his administration's overarching goals.
Mikaela's story is not unique. It's part of an overarching systemic issue that we have throughout our city and, to be frank, really throughout the entire nation. We're talking about really intentional segregation. We're talking about redlining and exclusion from property ownership and an ability to generate capital and get a loan. I mean, every single piece that you need in order to succeed as a business person or as an individual was stagnated because of decisions that we collectively have made as a city. And we need to make sure that the precision of our solutions now match the precision of the harm that was initially inflicted. And what Earn and Learn does is punch a hole right through that.
After the murder of George Floyd, Minneapolis became the center of attention for policing and race relations, locally, nationally, and across the globe, fueling the conversation around systemic racism.
We have significant gaps in unemployment, gaps in job opportunity, gaps in housing opportunity and lending between whites and our black population. If we don't make sure that some of those gaps are corrected, people throughout our city will suffer, our entire economy will suffer.
Lewis King has a long history of supporting young people exploring workforce development programs and partnering with educational institutions and businesses to build strong workforce pipelines.
Hi, I'm Lewis King, President and CEO of Summit Academy, OIC. We believe that the best social service program in the world is a job, and we're committed to helping poor people move into the middle class by providing the technical, educational skills and social networks needed for them to acquire good careers that take them above welfare and philanthropy. We actually conduct 5 enrollments per year. The courses are 20 weeks long. For some of the professions, there's 2-week paid internships while they're here. No one pays a nickel out of their pockets, and the classes overlap. So you have to begin with the premise that the people coming here are seeking a new life. And I tell them you have to get a new sound and a new band. Well, here's a chance to get your GED if necessary, to learn a construction craft or IT, but even more importantly, to build a new social network of people who are moving in the same direction as you. So in the early days when we were just doing construction, we went with the union construction shops because they had the apprenticeship, which is a career management tool and is very transparent. Every student who began here understood how many hours it took to make journey level and what pay raises you got at various levels. Well, when you go into IT, that structure doesn't exist. We've developed something called the Career Matriculation Management System. There is no defined path. So you need to understand, one, what training programs do your employers offer? The other thing you want to do is understand your employer's education package. Will they do tuition reimbursement, et cetera? And then the other thing that we've done is initiate discussions with community colleges and technical colleges so that you can have an open entry, you don't need to apply again, and your credits transfer so we save you some money and they pick up a new customer. During their 2-week internship, they get paid a stipend, a rate. And that's real. They have living expenses, all right? For us, it's 18 weeks of class, 2 weeks paid internship, and during that period, you get to go in, look at the company, they try you on, you get paid for doing it, and then you understand what it takes to go from $35,000 to $50,000 a year.
In order to enter the pharmacy tech program that she has been accepted to, Mikaela must first study and pass several exams.
So I had a series of steps to take for my program. I had to take a series of tests, which was like an Excel test to see how well I did on the app Excel, then a Microsoft one, and then a typing one as well. I passed all of those. And so this was like the last test that I had to take. I feel pretty confident, a little nervous, but I'm pretty confident.
A few minutes later, Mikaela received her results.
I just found out that I passed my test. I'm happy, but like, I guess I'll be more happy when I leave or something. I don't know. It's still kind of like unbelievable, to be honest.
But really, the program just consists of a few big things. Minneapolis college classes, I'll note, these are where you're really learning how to be a pharmacy technician. The big thing to note there is that it's challenging material. We fully are confident that based on your test scores, you'll be able to pass and learn all that, but know that attendance is critical.
Okay.
On the other side, we also have PPL classes, and those, as we note, are things along the lines of professionalism, time management, customer service, and especially interviewing. So Minneapolis College, you learn how to do the job. Basically here at PPL, we teach you how to win the job.
With the tests behind her, Mikaela was accepted into the program and ready to start her classes, which she would be taking with Lloyd by her side. As our economy changes, careers are changing as well. And despite high unemployment numbers caused by the pandemic, there remains challenges to recruitment in certain industries. Automation and AI are greatly disrupting traditional jobs, and employers are seeking talent with a new set of skills. A report from Deloitte found that as many as 2.4 million positions may go unfilled by 2028, which could cause the U.S. to miss out on $2.5 trillion of economic activity. Joseph Fuller, writing for the Harvard Business School, stated that business leaders must champion an employer-led skills development system in which they bring the type of rigor and discipline to sourcing middle skills talent that they historically apply to their material supply chains. In order to do this, businesses need to establish cross-sector collaborations and cultivate new pools of talent. Andrea Furstan is a recognized leader in education and workforce development, known for her program and policy initiatives driving process improvement and developing cross-sector partnerships. She now serves as Vice President of Systems Innovation for the Center for Economic Inclusion.
We've had more and more people retiring, and that's skilled talent that's retiring. We have fewer young people that are entering the workforce and changing demographics. So we have 80% of our population growth now is from communities of color, indigenous populations. We also know that we have too many people with disabilities that are sitting on the sidelines, and we can't afford that anymore. So we need to look at new models like this and new policies as well that are really going to help transform and reimagine the landscape. So we're seeing some, I think, early success and excitement. Some of this, of course, through the partnership with Sundance Foundation. Some of this in the leadership that Department of Labor and Industry has shown through their dual training program, through apprenticeships. But we know that there's a lot more to be done. We need more businesses rolling up their sleeves and engaging with higher education, engaging in different practices that will allow learners to be successful and that will ultimately help them to be positioned for a competitive edge in the marketplace. And that means bringing in an inclusive workforce and recognizing how people learn and how they can develop that talent so that they stay there and don't have the turnover costs or the labor shortage that they're experiencing today.
The Minneapolis Foundation is involved in similar workforce development. Through the Step Up and Urban Scholar programs, they are expanding opportunities to more young people. Jesse Ross is working to launch a program called Connects MSP to bolster those career pipelines.
So when you think about a kid from the city of Minneapolis, especially kids of color, they don't often, unfortunately, still in 2019, they don't see themselves in these roles that some of them don't even know exist. Like, I didn't even know the Civil Rights Department existed when I was a kid. And so I think about those different positions. And usually when you're thinking about city government and you're thinking about Minnesota specifically, they're predominantly white people who work those jobs until they're ready to retire. So we know that there's going to be a shortage of workers. We know that there are ample opportunities. But when you have a student who comes from an underserved, under-resourced, whatever those terms that people use, community, and they can not only gain experience but develop relationships, it goes all the way from not just earning and learning, but they gain, again, another professional development opportunity. They gain people. They gain trust. I mean, they show up at graduations. You got all these different people that are rooting for you, which then only can help you continue to climb that ladder towards success. You have to be exposed to different environments. That's exactly what Connects does. That's exactly what Step Up in Urban Scholar. It exposes you. It gives you an opportunity. So now, not only do you see yourself in these positions, when you get there, you can bring along people with you. And so 5 years later, now somebody else who has that same experience, that goes to that same high school that you went to, sees themselves again, and now we just continue to build this process. And sooner or later, we stop talking about equity gaps. We stop talking about achievement gaps.
In Brooklyn Park, Design Ready Controls has partnered with Hennepin Technical College and Summit Academy to develop an Earn and Learn program that is helping them deal with recruitment challenges.
Design Ready Controls is a manufacturer of electrical control panels and harnesses, mostly for large OEM manufacturers of other sorts of equipment. So we build the panels, the brains of those pieces of equipment. We hire anywhere from high-level engineers, all the way down entry-level engineers, all the way down to warehouse and production employees. Talent and recruiting is one of our biggest, I say, issues that we've had, just like anybody else in this economy, right? Manufacturing in the United States has greatly grown, and we've had to think differently on how we recruit. Because of all of our growth and our opportunities and our commitment to education, we can bring in an entry-level person and bring them to that higher level, more advanced jobs within 2 to 5 years. So we started a partnership with Hennepin Tech because we were looking for higher education for our employees and getting those people the skills that they need to do the jobs that we need to advance. So what we started doing was offering classes that they already had, but just to our employees here on site at Design Ready Controls in Brooklyn Park, so that our employees could get that education through Hennepin Tech classes that are offered on site, and then that advances them within their career here at Design Ready Controls.
Hi, my name is Kathy Berkaya. I've been with Design Ready Controls for a year. Today is my 1-year anniversary, yay! And I'm a quality engineer. I've never worked in electronics industry, and I was looking for advancement in my career. I felt like stuck in my old job. So with my education, Design Ready Controls give me $5,000 per year. They also offered me free courses on electricity, which directly relates to the jobs that I do.
Why we do Earn and Learn is the support that the employees feel from us. It gives us that advantage when we're recruiting people, and then they can see that progression of how they can advance their career, how they can advance their pay, and everything in between.
I'm Annalise. I've been here for 3.5 years. I'm a Perfect operator. Being a part of the Earn and Learn program is beneficial because I decided to further my career to being an engineer. I thought I was a stay-at-home mom for a while. I thought I was going to just do retail, but no, I am more motivated. Being in this company, it makes you motivated to do something more and better with yourself in your life career and for your family. I want to know how to learn how to wire. I want to know how to learn how to read the schematics. It just gives me a new opportunity to find something new with this company, and that's just going to further me in my career. My kids are all in sports, so I'm not laying around being lazy anymore. I'm actually energizing and interacting with the kids. The way I'm going right now, I think that's going to help them to see that it's going to help us in the future, because they see that mommy is not giving up, even though she took the stretch of a gap here. No, I'm not giving up. You only live once. Just take the chance and motivate yourself. I think everybody can do it, not just me.
If a company is not committed to earning and learning, they're not going to get the good employees. They are not going to be able to continue to grow their organization in a fashion that they want to. So Earn and Learn is really the only option.
It's not just businesses integrating the Earn and Learn model. In 2007, the City of St. Paul launched the Department of Human Rights and Equal Economic Opportunity, or HERO. The department consolidated existing city resources to better serve monitor and enforce policies designed to expand economic opportunities and produce a more economically inclusive city. One of their goals is to develop a government workforce that mirrors the population of the city. Tony Newborn serves as director of HERO.
The city of St. Paul, our demographics are, we have roughly a little over 300,000 residents. As far as working age adults, we have 48% are persons of color and 51% are women. Where I work, we have a little under 3,000 employees, 73% white and 27-ish% persons of color. We have 60% men represented in our workforce and 40% women. We have to work to change our policies, practices, and procedures in order to attract the people that we want to work for our organization. The fancy word of the day is equity and inclusion, and or having a diversity, equity, and inclusion strategic plan. And really, no one knows what that means. Diversity was a term that was used for years. And really, diversity translated into numbers. Oh, we need, and I would use the Q word of quotas. And then fast forward 20 years, equity comes along, this use of the word equity and meeting people where they're at and giving folks access to jobs and access to healthcare, et cetera. And then inclusion, meaning, people they feel welcome to be in your respective organization. But we as our HR professionals and our leadership need to ensure that we are bold enough to make those changes and hold ourselves accountable to achieving those goals that we've set up for ourselves. 3 of our departments who have incorporated the Earn and Learn model include our Parks Department, our Water Department, and our Public Works Department.
So in Public Works here in street maintenance, we do all things that people see, all maintenance out on the street. Pothole patching, snow plowing are the most visual type of maintenance activities that we do, but we also do grass cutting, trash pickup, legal dumping pickup, a lot of things that make City of St. Paul look nice and clean and livable for all the citizens and businesses of St. Paul. Like most every construction industry company or organization, hiring is getting tougher and tougher, and the amount of candidates that are applying to the positions that we have is getting less and less. Yeah, so around 2 years ago, and work started before then, we implemented our trainee position. And one of the big things that we do here is snow and ice operations, which we do with large CDL vehicles. So that's a requirement for our street service worker position. And what we were finding is that it was a challenge to get new employees here with a CDL vehicle, so we developed the trainee position as more of an entry-level position where they would do basically all the work of a street service worker with the exception of the CDL part of it, and we would train them up. While they're employed here, they would get their CDL, and then they would become a street service worker.
Darren is one of the first St. Paul residents to participate in this program.
I didn't know until the interview. I came in my initial interview, they explained that this was this trainee program, and I had no clue about any of it. I didn't even know about the CDL. So, yeah, I just I took the opportunity, and I'm glad I did because now I have a Class B. It's a pretty big deal driving a huge truck, a Mack truck down the road with the plow on the front. I never thought I'd be doing that. This is somewhere where I can stay, and there's still plenty of opportunities,
The value of a CDL is huge. Street service workers here, to have that position, it's a higher paying position. It's with benefits, but certainly there's opportunity throughout the workforce for someone that has a CDL.
For someone like me who, I have a felony on my record, and it's pretty hard to get yourself a good career. And I recommend this to a lot of my friends too, like people who have, similar situations. I try to tell them that this is an opportunity and for sure to utilize it. Come here, get your CDL. And I don't know, it's just something that it opens doors for people who, normally it would be a lot harder, so I think it's a good program.
The St. Paul Police Department has also launched an Earn and Learn program, which they call LECPA.
So the LECPA stands for Law Enforcement Career Path Academy. The program is designed to help foster young adults who want to become a police officer find the financial and academic opportunity to reach that goal. In the state of Minnesota, we require a minimum 2-year associate degree before you can even become a police officer. There's a lot of young adults who want to become a police officer, but they don't have the financial means, or they have barriers that are put in place of their success. Currently, we have 40 students who are enrolled into the program. So they're going to school and they're working in the police department. They earn a living stipend and then also an educational award at the end. The law enforcement career path students get the opportunity to work in those environments and build those relationships with those community youth and a community that they normally would never come across. And that experience to them is very, very important. But the other plus to that too is that it makes them a better committed community person. So all of these things are done to make sure that we break down any type of barriers that may hinder a person from being successful. It's gonna take some time and some effort, and the leadership has to believe in investing in their community, and there has to be pathways for every level, from youth to teenager to young adults, and then to the career field.
For seniors in high school, it can be daunting to enter the real world and not feel certain about a career path. And as concerns over campus safety and the effectiveness of virtual learning brought on by the pandemic, more students are seeking alternatives to attending college right out of high school. By getting youth involved in career pathways programs, they can avoid taking on student debt for a program they may discover they don't enjoy once they've started, and find the best fit for their future. Lake's Center for Youth in Forest Lake, Minnesota, is helping students do just that.
Lake Center for Youth and Families, we do 3 different program areas. We do counseling, intervention, and enrichment. So one of our workforce programs is tried and true small engines. And what that is we have kids who are 15 to 18 years old who are interested in the mechanical field. They come to our shop, they work with our professional mechanic, and they learn how to diagnose and repair small engines.
Yeah, I'd watch my dad work on our vehicles and lawnmowers and snowmobiles and all of our other stuff, and I've always wanted to be a part of that or do it.
He was always Gerald's gopher, at least for getting tools and learning tools.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it started.
I've always done my own repair, and he just would be there, interested in what I was doing, or usually half the time he was the one that broke it. So he kind of felt bad and got involved with me in repairing things and figuring things out.
So it's really important for us to take the resources that we have to help kids explore what's out there. So basically they don't waste their time getting degrees that they're not going to use or going in fields that they could be doing something bigger and better with.
Going through the Tried and True program, I took a class, I think it's job skills development. I mean, it's one thing getting the job, but it's how to get the job and what to say and how to look professional, and I think that's another important step.
With Thomas starting school with Alexandria Tech with a 2-year degree in mind, and we knew he just needed the professional skills to get there. So it's leading up to so much more than what we really even expected. So we're really pleased and happy for him and proud of him.
These Earn and Learn programs are important, especially those focusing on skills and trades, because traditionally, past however many decades, schools have really focused on the 4-year college opportunity, and that has created a gap in the trades and the skills sector. So we are really hoping to help kids gain experience and just gain exposure to these different fields.
I think it's very comforting to find out that I almost guaranteed a job anywhere with a degree and a high school diploma, and I'm very grateful that I had this opportunity and that I've figured out a plan and that I'm going through with it.
Thomas is lucky to have the support of his family throughout his educational journey. But the same is not true for all the youth in Minnesota. For thousands of homeless and at-risk youth, The challenges go well beyond finding the right career fit. First, they must find stability in their life in order to move forward. Oasis for Youth is helping young people on that journey with their MAVEN program and a partnership with the Mall of America.
Oasis for Youth is a nonprofit organization in Bloomington, Minnesota, where we serve 16 to 24 years old up to their 25th birthday on just one-on-one case management services. We are a vital community asset to empowering youth at risk of homelessness to believe in better futures filled with hope, stability, and self-fulfillment. Since we have started, we have been able to triple our numbers of people that we're serving. A lot of our young adults don't have stable support systems in their lives, and to be able to be like, I can help you with that. We can do that. They're just like, really? Wow, like I didn't know that. And I'm like, yes, their family backgrounds are unstable. A lot of parents abandoning their children where they kind of have to like fight and survive on their own. Part of my job is that I also help youth get employed through direct MOA employment. So the mall has like this really cool program called the MAVEN program where they get to shadow someone in a department because they're interested in that career. So for an example, if I was a young adult who was interested in human resources, I'm able to apply into this MAVEN program, request someone from the Human Services Department. And if there's someone in there who's willing to like mentor me, they would chime in as well. We would get paired up. And for a few months, I would be able to shadow this person, ask all the questions I want, and learn how human resources work. And what's also really cool about it, they get paid for shadowing. So they're not losing money or time. They're already getting their foot in the door. They're already building a professional reference right there if it's a good fit. People who are in these departments have connections. And so it's just really expanding their opportunities, their network, and being able to pursue what they want to pursue. And making them feel confident so they're not going in feeling incapable is a very powerful thing. What Oasis for Youth is doing at the mall, being on site and offering free case management services to assist youth in addressing barriers to be able to balance work and life, I think it should be replicated amongst other businesses. You know, we have statistics that show that youth who are doing ongoing case management services, they are sustaining their employment for a longer period of time of youth who maybe accessed us for only one time or not at all. This earn and learn like process of training before employment is going to be the new big thing. And it's really going to change how pursuing a career is going to look like.
For Lloyd and Mikaela, their support comes from each other. With months into the pharmacy tech training program, they're finding that the work is easier when they are able to work together on homework and class material.
We're competitive, so it's like if he gets something that I don't get, I'll get kind of frustrated and I'll be like, you're supposed to make sure I got it. And then it's vice versa. So, but I think it's also really good because there's no real way for me to fall off track, knowing that he's on track. Him being on track will make me stay on track. And if he sees that I'm on track and he's not, you know, basically us being there together makes us work harder. Like, and then we also don't want to, you know, be the statistic where we're in the class and then we're just distracting each other all the time. So we kind of like focus more just because of that. So it's really cool.
Mikaela is probably one of my hardest working students. She's so super smart. She works really hard. She asks the most questions in general. So I absolutely love having her here.
I'm registered with the Board of Pharmacy right now, so I do have an active certification. That means that I'm actually at this point, I can work at any pharmacy in Minnesota. Like right now, I could work in a pharmacy, but I would just be doing like cashier work. The PTCB, which is what she's basically preparing everybody to take, is going to allow me to work in a pharmacy setting and be able to earn higher positions. So I could get promoted, or I can get a raise, or I could go work in a hospital, or I could do more compounding in the pharmacy, stuff like that.
So if you get hired through a company such as Walgreens or CVS, they will put you through a training program and you will get certified eventually. But it's probably going to take at least a couple of years. If you go through a program like this where it takes 6 to 7 months, you already come in as a certified technician, and the benefits are that you're getting paid higher, you're going in there with more knowledge, so it's not as frustrating as if you're a brand new person from the street and you don't know anything about pharmacy world.
Lloyd and Mikaela graduated from PPL Pharmacy Tech program in November of 2019. With months of hard work behind them and the future looking bright, Lloyd proposed to Mikaela, and they are now engaged to be married. Following their graduation, Cynthia reconnected with them to find out how things had changed since their last time together nearly a year ago.
I feel like, the externship, the reward was getting the money,
Right, of
for
course,
one.
of course.
For one. Because of it, I'm now engaged to be married.
So before last, I think it was summer 2018, maybe in August, me and my dad went down to visit my grandma and stuff. And we were going through, I think it was Dillon, South Carolina. And that's where my mom and dad had got married. It was just like this little church where you can just go. It's like you can get married for like literally like $150, maybe $200. And my grandma was trying to get us to go do that then. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'll do it right now. But my dad was like, no, they got to get a career and they got to, get on their feet before they think about that. You know what I mean? At first, like when he first said that, I kind of felt like, you can't, you know what I mean?
Tell me what to do.
But now, like we both see that that's exactly what
he wanted.
That's exactly what he wanted. Because that's what he's saying. He's like, see, I'm telling you, you can do whatever you want now. You know what I mean?
To be honest, like you asked how does it feel to just move into the apartment and just be living there for a year, it feels like I've been there for a while, to be honest. But when I look back at it, it's crazy because it's only been a year.
Yeah.
Like we were just in crazy circumstances a year ago.
And like that's what I love about her so much is that we built so much.
And I know that this is just the beginning, so I was kind of nervous about what life had in store for me just because I never knew for so long and stuff just always came up and I just never knew what was next.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel better about it because I kind of know that I kind of have a little say-so in what's going to happen next.
Kayla's smart,
You know what
I listen to Kayla a lot.
My sister's dad, he went to a job where he hated it. He didn't like it at all. And I was just like, that's what life is? You just go to work and you hate going to work and every day you just get up and you hate going to work? I was like, no.
Have to be like that.
I was like, that's not me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to find something that somebody needs that I can do that is actually fun for me. I'm just happy that this pharmacy thing, thanks to Cynthia, was brought to my attention.
If she didn't meet you, I wouldn't have did the program. So I gotta thank you too for that. Thank you.
Good. But I believe that there's a lot of people out here that if only they were given the opportunity or the chances, you know what I mean, or the resources to be something, to be successful, that they would soar like me. Like I feel like I'm one of those people. If I didn't have people constantly in my face telling me I could do this or showing me what to do next or how to do it, I probably wouldn't have made it this far.
In January of 2020, Mikaela took a full-time position at the pharmacy where she had completed her externship, and Lloyd took a part-time position at the pharmacy he had been working at. They are now motivating more young people to follow their footsteps by sharing their experience with others who are considering the same pharmacy tech program.
It's a very high demand job. If you do get this under your belt, if you do get your certificate, you can pretty much go anywhere and get a job.
That's what I mean.
You just have to be dedicated. And want money.
Want to learn it. Want to learn.
Yes, and want to learn. You can't come into a job like this and then think you know everything because there's so much stuff that you can just keep learning.
Because of PPL bringing the LEAP Workforce Development Program to schools like PYC to offer Earn and Learn programs, they are able to make a real difference for young people in Minnesota. But to make the type of change needed to reverse the current economic trends, we will need more of these programs implemented in more schools across the state. We'll need more businesses partnering with educational institutions and more nonprofits partnering with businesses. By coming together, we can make the type of changes needed to create bright futures for every young person across the state. But doing something new is rarely easy. which is why Ramsey County has launched their Youth Works initiative to create collaborations that help make it easier for more businesses to integrate earn and learn models.
My name is Ling Becker. I'm the Director of Workforce Solutions for Ramsey County. We provide employment guidance services and programs for all of Ramsey County and the city of St. Paul. Ramsey County is an extremely unique county in that it is the most dense county in the state of Minnesota, as well as the most racially diverse. So our role as a county includes ensuring that we're helping all the organizations that are in our community who touch youth in different ways to sort of collaborate and understand the role that each person plays. We have a set of principles or tenets that we're saying, these are of value to our community, and can we as a collective adopt those as a group and believe in them? So I think why Earn and Learn is so valuable for students and for parents and for families is it really does put a perfect marriage around what helps kids move forward. It helps them be able to figure out what it is that they might want to pursue. At the same time, they're feeling valued because they're getting paid to do that work. For businesses, I think there's many reasons why Earn and Learn is valuable. One, it's a great advertisement for your industry. It's a great way to bring your next generation of the workforce into exposure of what it is that you do, what it is that makes your industry amazing, what makes your company amazing. And I think it transforms the culture of the workplace. People who have been doing the same job for many years, they feel excited to teach. They feel excited to share their knowledge.
It provides a way to make communities better. You do that through building the economic stability of a community. You do that by empowering young people and telling them that they have an opportunity to do something great, something different, or exposing them to something that they never even thought was an option.
It may be scary for some organizations which may be strapped for cash and have limited budgets. Mayor Carter often talks about you'll know what values of an organization or of someone by how they spend their money. And so we have to be intentional around budgeting for this.
It's about leaning in and creating youth-friendly pathways so young people can thrive.
And so I feel like if there was more people who just, really believed in people to put, out that energy, that people would receive it, People would take that and like, maybe I can. People see someone like me coming from where I come from, maybe they'll want to at least try. Get out, explore your options. Don't be discouraged, don't listen to statistics, try to break statistics. Always try to break statistics. Always try to, go out and see for yourself. Don't go off of what somebody else says, Research, inquire about yourself, invest in yourself, and you'll get somewhere. You definitely will.
Visit Earn and Learn MN to get connected with a program in your area.